Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Am I on here? Shabbat Shalom. Well, welcome to our Erev Shabbat service. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Noble. How are you?
Shalom, Cantor. How are you doing?
I'm doing great because it's Shabbat, that we have the third grade here, and everybody's somewhat smiling, which is great. At least we've got a good start. And we're going to start tonight with Shalom Aleichem on page, what is it, page 24?
Page 24.
24. So, does anyone know what the word nudnik means? You know what the word nudnik means? A nudnik is somebody who pesters people. What's the word in Farsi for a nudnik? A nudnik. Okay, is that right? A nudnik is somebody. So I'm going to be a nudnik. And what a nudge is, got to nudge you. A nudnik, which is going to be that I want you to sing with me. Okay, I want you to sing with us tonight. So the first thing we're going to do is Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 24. And it starts off, the text is a very ancient, wonderful text. Goes back 4,000 years. All the Jews sang it in Abraham's time. You want to hear what the refrain is? 4,000 years old. Lie, 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 lie. Response. Now here we go. No. Lie. We can do better than that. Don't you think we can do better than that? I mean, it's one of me, a million of you. Let's see if we can do better than that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Lie, 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 lie. Eloheinu melech haolam. mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
What are we singing next, Cantor?
We're going to do Lechuna Ranana, which is on page
12.
And we have a wonderful, wonderful chorus this evening, which is made up of some of the best singers in all of Los Angeles. There they are, right there, the third grade. Okay? The third grade. So we have a few rules. Rule number one is that we are already videotaping. Everything we do here is videotaped. So you don't have to get up. You don't have to use a phone. All phones are off, correct? All phones are off. Don't have to get up and do a phone. You'll be posted, and you can see your children singing. Number two is that when they are done, because look at them. First of all, they're beautiful. But when they're done, we don't clap. We go like this. In other words, to show our support, we go like this. Okay, let's all applaud this way. Beautiful. That's fantastic. When the cantor sings, okay, you can applaud. It's okay. You can stand up and applaud. No, just kidding. So, Lechuna Ranana is a song of joy. And this Lechuna Ranana was written by Maestro Cates. And so we are excited that we're going to continue to greet Shabbat with these wonderful melodies. So on page 20, we have Lachadodi, which greets the Shabbat bride. And when you greet a bride, especially at a wedding, right? When this bride comes down the aisle, you give her big support, you applaud her, you're happy to see her, her parents are happy to marry her off. Her parents are happy to have a son-in-law, correct? Everybody's happy. So we greet the Sabbath bride. We just don't sit at the end of the verse. We rise at the, not yet, and we greet the Sabbath bride, and she's a queen. So when we sing Lachadodi, it's in joy. The last verse, the last one, I do an incantorial kind of improvisation on it and try to go with the words and try to use those words and paint them a little differently to give more gravitas to the text. And then after that, without any introduction, we're gonna go to the next page, which is Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. And Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat means song for a Sabbath day. And you're going to join with us, and we're going to move everything into more of an area of being thoughtful, okay? Can we do that when we get to that? But right now we're going to do Lachadodi, which you're going to find on page 20.
לשם ותפארת ולתהילה וחדותי לקראת שמה ונשמה לקבלה וחדותי לקראת שמה ונשמה לקבלה לקראת שמה לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה וחדותי לקראת שמה ונשמה לקבלה וחדותי לקראת שמה ונשמה לקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת 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 בלה גם בשמחה בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה Bowie, oh Bowie, Bowie, Chala. Lechadodi, Likratala, Leneshama, Lekadela, Lechadodi, Likratala, Leneshama.
Now we're on page 22. This psalm is a psalm for the Sabbath day, and it has mystical powers because we all pray for a Shabbat of peace in the world, a Shabbat where everything will be whole, a Shabbat where we can have our Shabbat and we make Havdalah. Maybe the Messiah will come. So when we sing Mizmor Shel Yom Shabbat, I want everybody to say the words with me. And here we go. Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat. The whole world is waiting, waiting for Shabbos. The whole world is waiting, waiting for Shabbos. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ulezamer l'shema עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועל עליך, במעשה ידיך, במעשה ידיך ארענן. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר, שיר ליום השבת. The whole world is waiting, waiting for Shabbos. The whole world is waiting, waiting for Shabbos. Lie, 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 Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 32, Ahavat Olam.
Israel,
תשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. יומם ולילה. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
Page 36, ואהבת. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם כראשים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. So with joy we turn to page 40. We were going to sing the same song, the same words, that our ancestors sang as they crossed the Sea of Reeds, looking up at the future, not at their feet walking in mud. So, Micha Mocha. כי היום לפני משה ומרים זה אלי אנו ויאמרו זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
גל ישראל
אמן la 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 We're on page 42, Hashkivenu. We talk about the sukkah of shalom that we want spread over us. And Hanukkah is soon approaching. We can see as the moon gets bigger and bigger, that means that Hanukkah is getting closer and closer. And Hanukkah, when we learn about it historically, it's actually a holiday that comes to celebrate Sukkot when we couldn't celebrate Sukkot at the right time because the temple had been defiled. And so Hanukkah is a time of incredible hope, and it reminds us that sometimes we don't have the opportunity to do what we want, but if we're patient, if we persevere, if we have grit and determination, we'll be able to do that. And our ancestors couldn't celebrate Sukkot at the right time. They waited a few months until the opportunity came, and they celebrated Sukkot. When we think of Hashkivenu, we think of that sense of shalom, that sense of shelter that we get when we imagine what it is to be within the sukkah of God's peace. Page 42.
as So our ancestors divided our liturgy into very discrete, different sections. Most of the prayers that we sing on a Friday night, especially the prayers that get us started with our prayer service, are prayers of thanksgiving, prayers of adulation, where we give thanks to God for all the many blessings that God bestows upon us. But there's also an opportunity not just to give thanks, not just to admit our wonder, but also to ask for things. Prayers of supplication, bakashot. And perhaps no prayer of supplication rings quite as profound as when we ask for God's intervention on behalf of another. And so if there is someone you are thinking of this evening, maybe a friend, a brother or a sister, maybe a close loved one who's in need of prayers of healing of the mind or of the body or of the spirit, we ask you to join us in the middle of page 253 as we ask for God's blessing upon them.
Shebeirach avoteinu mekor habracha leavoteinu, source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Ishebeirach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pray that God answers all of our prayers. At this time, we have a moment for other prayers, a time for our own prayer with God. Our Amidah, the central prayer of our prayer service, can be found beginning on page 48 and ending on page 62. If you're not familiar with this prayer book, on the even pages, you will find the traditional prayer along with a transliteration and a translation. On the odd pages, you will find poems and writings that are inspired by our traditional prayers. And we hope this evening, as you pray, you find the words that are meaningful for you, whether they're in the book or in your heart. I'd like to ask everyone to please rise for your own silent Amidah, and when you are finished, please feel free to be seated. found it? Okay. So, after our prayer for peace, it would seem like an appropriate time to think about those places where we hope peace would fall upon us. So I'd like to invite you to join me in a prayer for our country, which you can find on the bottom of page 258 in your prayer books. Guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. And together we say, Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zur Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zur Yisrael v'Goalo.
Please join me, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel. Bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise and defend, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And together we say, Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zur Yisrael v'Goalo.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Ooh. It's so wonderful to see you. It's so wonderful to hear the voices of our third graders, and I want to wish you all a hearty Yishar Kochachem. You sang such beautiful melodies from your heart, and that lifts us up. So thank you. Tonight I just want to share a short teaching inspired by this week's Torah portion, Parashat Vayishlach. It's a very exciting story because last week we learned about how Jacob and Esau, these brothers, have a terrible split. There's a rupture in their relationship, and Jacob leaves. He is encouraged to leave by his mother, who says, you better get out of town because your brother Esau wants to kill you. Raise your hand if that ever happened to you with your own sibling. Anyone? Okay, good. We can talk afterwards and swap stories. Yeah. So it's this powerful moment. Jacob goes away, and he's gone for 20 years, and when he comes back, he's going to be reunited with his brother Esau, and he finds out that his brother has 400 men in his tribe, in his encampment, and so he's even more frightened, and he comes and he offers gifts, and there's this reunion, and it's quite beautiful. And after the reunion, we hear that Jacob comes to Shechem. It says, Vayavo Yaakov Shalem. And so tonight, all I want to do is talk about that word shalem. He comes whole. It comes from the root shalom, shlemut, which means peace, which means wholeness and completeness. So I just want to look at a text from our tradition that is taught originally by Rashi, the great commentator who lived in France in the 11th century. And Rashi teaches us that he came back whole in 3 different ways. He was whole in terms of his body, his physical health. He was whole in terms of his wealth, his resources, his material well-being, and he was whole in terms of his intellect, and some even add in terms of his spirituality. His Torah, the learning that had inspired him for so many years, is still with him. And yet there are these tensions that are inherent in the story because he is whole in his body, and yet he has just suffered this injury. You'll remember from last week when he's wrestling with the angel, he hurts his hip. And so he's injured, and yet he's whole. So there's a tension there. And we learn that he's whole financially, and yet he had just given his brother this very generous gift so that his brother, the commentators tell us, Jacob was trying to win his brother over with a little gift, a little bribe. Don't kill me, brother. I will give you lots of my wealth. And yet it says that he's whole financially. And finally it says that he's whole in his Torah, but if we look very carefully, I want to share one part of the story that I think is actually quite poignant and a little bit tragic. It says, Shalem b'Torato, but here are just a few verses from this week's Torah portion that make us question whether he was in fact whole in his spirit and in his intellect. Esau says to his brother, after they've reunited, after they hug and they kiss and they weep, Esau says to his brother, let's go together. He says, Nis'a v'nelcha ve'elka linagcha. We'll go together, side by side. But Jacob says to him, you know, I've got kids, I've got these herds, I've got all the sheep and the goats. You go on ahead, and, I'll just catch up to you. He says, you go ahead of me, I'm your servant, and I will come to you in Seir. I'll meet you later. And it's this kind of beautiful moment where he says, go on ahead, brother, I'll meet you later. And then what happens? Esau says, you know what? I'll let some of my men stay with you, and they'll help you so you won't be all on your own. And Jacob says, no, I'm good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then, you know what? Esau says, no taruf. Some of you got that. Others, I'll explain it to you later. He says, really, I will help you. And Jacob says, forget it. I am okay. Don't worry about me. I'll go on my own. So Esau started back that day on his way to Seir. Remember that. Esau goes towards Seir. And so what's Jacob going to do? Jacob just said, you go on ahead, I'll follow you. So what's Jacob going to do? If Esau went to Seir, where's Jacob going to go? He's going to go to Seir, right? Because he just said, I'll follow you. But what happens? Jacob journeys on to Sukkot. And he built a house for himself and made stalls for his cattle. And that is why the place is called Sukkot, because he made these stalls for his cattle. Now, Seir and Sukkot, what you're probably thinking are that they're right next door to each other, right? It's like Encino and Sherman Oaks, right? It's just, they're right there. But I'll show you where they actually were. This is a map of ancient Israel. Here is Sukkot. It's just north of the Dead Sea. Just north of the Dead Sea, just south of the Sea of Galilee. And Seir, whoa. And how far is Sukkot from Seir? With the magic of what was really special for Jacob. He used this all the time. With the magic of Google Maps, I found out that it's 180 miles. And this is not 180 miles commuting in Los Angeles, which could take 7 to 9 business days. I'm talking, they're 180 miles on foot. And so what I want to challenge is that final sense of shlemut as well. There's a tension there as well. On the one hand, it says that Jacob returns to Shechem whole, shalem, and Rashi says he is whole also in his emotional state and his intellect. And yet we see here, I see another disruption. That on the one hand, he's saying, yes, brother, we're reunited and I want to be close to you. And on the other hand, he says, I think I'll keep 180-mile distance minimum. Raise your hand if you have a brother like that. Yeah? Some people, you need a whole ocean between you. Others, just other sides of the continent will work. So what does it mean to be whole? So here's your assignment. Here's your assignment. If you were asked what it would mean to come wherever it is, whether you're coming to Shechem or Sukkot or Seir or Encino or Bel Air or wherever it is that you're coming home to, and it was described about you that you came home whole, what would that mean? In this parsha, Rashi teaches us that it's about our physical health, it's about our material well-being, it's also about our spirit and our intellect. And yet, I've highlighted these tensions in each one of those. So the challenge for us is how can we find that sense of wholeness inside the tension? How can we find that sense of wholeness embracing the fact that there is that tension? and that physical well-being is always going to be appreciated in the context of some sort of pain, of some sort of injury. And kids, third graders, I just want you to know, as I get older, there are those mornings I wake up with a deep, deep pain in one of my limbs. And what is different now than then is that there was no precipitating injury of any sort. It was just, I just went to bed, and then I woke up injured. Raise your hand if you've had that happen, okay? See, kids, in third grade, when you wake up with the injury, you can actually remember that you fell down, something happened. When you get to be my age, and I'm told that it's not going to get any better. It's actually going to get worse. But how can you embrace that and say, you know what, I am alive today, and thank goodness I am. And yes, there might be an ache or a pain, but I am whole. And we might have financial setbacks or material setbacks in our lives, and how do we remind ourselves that I'm whole with that setback, within that tension? And even intellectually and even spiritually, we know that we are broken sometimes. We know that there are tensions inside of us. How do we find that sense of wholeness there as well? So your assignment is tonight at your Shabbos dinner table, or tomorrow, or sometime in the next couple of days, think a little bit about that. Maybe talk about it with a family member. If you're having a Shabbat meal with family tonight, maybe that can be part of your topic of conversation. In what ways do you find wholeness, and how do you embrace the tension in that wholeness? And how do you make that sense of wholeness a blessing, something that you can appreciate day by day? Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen. Speaking of things for which we are grateful, and speaking of things for which we celebrate with a full sense, without any tension at all, actually, we get to celebrate a new life this evening. And so I want to invite up to our Bima Jessica Manzone and Peter Lang, and I want to invite up their dear friends, godparents, and surrogate grandmother, Leslie and Shai and Sandy. And we're so blessed to have baby Dominic in your arms, Dominic Alexander. And we're so blessed to have Jessica as part of our community because, and Peter too, but I'll focus on Jessica for a moment because Jessica is a teacher of teachers. And she and her colleague and her teacher and mentor, Sandra Kaplan, are part of the team from the USC Rossier School of Education that have been working so closely with our teachers now for 7 years, I think. It probably feels like just yesterday or maybe a century. And they've been working and training our teachers at all of those teacher in-services. Parents, when you get that fun day with your kids in the middle of the week, unexplained, we're actually working very hard with Jessica and with Sandy. So we're especially excited that we get to be part of welcoming your beautiful baby into our community. And it's my honor to be able to share these words to you, Jessica, and to you, Peter, and to you, sleeping Dominic. Stay asleep. It's okay. It's all being filmed, Dominic. Later, you can refer back to this. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu kayem et hayeled hazeh le'aviv ule'imo ve'yikare shmo b'Yisrael David Nathanael ben Yosefa Malka ve'Peter. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto. Ze hakaton David Nathanael Gadol Yehiyeh. Now I'm going to say something in Hebrew, and you repeat it after me, but let me tell you what you're going to say first, because you shouldn't repeat after someone if you don't know what it is that you're saying, and not all of you know Hebrew yet. I'm going to say, just as we are entering baby David Nathanael, baby Dominic Alexander, into the covenant of the Jewish people, so too do we hope that he'll be entered into a life of Torah, of learning, a life of chuppah, a loving relationship someday, and a life of ma'asim tovim, a life of goodness that will make our world a better place. So now I'm going to say those words in Hebrew. You all say them after me. Kashem shenichnas labrit kain yikanes la Torah ule chuppah ule ma'asim tovim. And let us say amen. And it would be appropriate, but not so loud that we wake up baby Dominic. But it would be appropriate right now, Maestro, to do a robust and exciting Siman Tov Mazel Tov.
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel David melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam.
Now this guy knows how to party. And let me tell you why, because he's still asleep. And that is my kind of guy. So we have this to celebrate. We're going to ask you all to stay right here. We have this to celebrate with Peter and with Jessica and Sandy and Shai and Leslie. But we have other simchas. Is there anyone celebrating a birthday this week? And if so, could you please stand up? A birthday. Stay standing. Who else is celebrating a birthday and a bar mitzvah? And a birthday and a birthday. Who else has a birthday? Make sure you pay attention to who's got a birthday so you can wish them. How about a happy anniversary? Who's got a happy anniversary? Who has a not so happy anniversary? No, I'm just kidding. No. I know that there are other smachot, there are other simchas to celebrate, but let's all stand together. Let's turn to page 5. Let's invite our bar mitzvah to come forward. Riley, please come forward, our birthday boy and our bar mitzvah. And we'll invite Peter and Jessica to help us. And Cantor's going to lead us in Kiddush on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshal b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu. B'Shabbat kodsho v'yava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי הבנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ.
As much joy as there is on Shabbat, there's also always an opportunity to remember. And sometimes in the memory there is sadness. If you are remembering a loss that you've suffered recently, if you are in a period of Shiva, please rise. And if you're remembering a loss in the last 30 days, the period of Shloshim, please rise. If you're in the first year of mourning, please rise. And if this Sabbath is a Sabbath where you commemorate a yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, please rise. And let us all rise in solidarity with the mourners as we say these words of Kaddish Yatom on page 294. Page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba bi'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'agala v'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha barichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yama v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace for us here on earth, for us and for all Israel and all humanity. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. It's an honor and a pleasure to invite a member of our board of directors, Jeff Sklar, one of the tallest Jews I know. But more than being tall in stature, he's a fine, upstanding man and a wonderful and beloved member of our board of directors. Jeff, tell us something about the congregation.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. So there's a couple really interesting things happening, and I have to flip to the last one because I love the word. So join us for a special Shabbat featuring Hanukkah, and it's called Shabbanica, on Friday, December 15th, starting at 5 p.m. There's going to be family-friendly Latkanash with music and dreidel games, 6:15 p.m. Hanukkot lighting, and Shabbat services followed by dinner at 7:30 p.m. Register in advance for dinner. Another interesting thing that's going on, Center for Jewish Life presents a special lecture from Dr. Laura Rosenzweig, author of Hollywood Spies, The Undercover Surveillance of Nazis in Los Angeles. Hollywood Spies tells the long-hated story of American Jewish resistance to Nazism. So there's a lot of things always going on here at the synagogue, whether for adults or children, and we always love to have you here. So it's very nice to meet several of you earlier tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Jeff, very much. And if you have questions about the congregation, you can ask Jeff or any member of our board of directors who has a badge. And we're going to offer a blessing to our third graders and to our beloved teachers. Cantor.
So if we could have, we'd like to have the teachers come on up with the children. So that the children, first let's have the parents with their kids stand up. Where are you? So if you're here with your children, teachers come on up here with us. Whitney. This is a traditional blessing that we do on Friday nights with our children. So you have a rechecha. So I want to thank the third grade teachers, and Malka and Pam, and where's Randy? Did an outstanding job with the kids. Happy to have you with us tonight. And Yashikoach to thank you to our band. As always, what a fantastic, soulful group you are.
Thank you, Cantor, and thank you to Whitney, and thank you all for being with us. You make Shabbat so much more joyous and so much more beautiful when you join in with us. Cantor, please bless these beautiful families, bless our whole community.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May the
V'yasem V'yasem Lecha
Our closing song can be found on page 321. Let's all stand up, and you can kind of move a little bit. The music will make you want to move, and that's good. Adon Olam, the master of creation, we give thanks to God for this beautiful community, for our Sabbath, for the opportunity to be together.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Ve'yet Nasa V'chepto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei Kichelot HaKol, Levado Im Eloch Torah, Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Oved, Ve'hu Yeh B'dibarach, Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra.
Adon Olam again. Adon Olam again. Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Ve'yet Nasa V'chepto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra. Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat